Hey, my name is Noelle. I live with OCD, ADHD, and borderline, and I got a comment asking to do a video about interpersonal relationships and how borderline can affect your relationships. I am actively destroying pretty much all my relationships, which is leading to debilitating loneliness, which is upsetting because I really do miss people. I like connection. I like socializing, and I've definitely struggled with relationships my entire life, and I see it happening, and I can't do anything to fix it. The three most important things that I think affect people in relationships that have borderline would be the fear of abandonment or rejection, black and white thinking, and then also just their emotional intensity and like mood swings. The first would be fear of abandonment and the fear of rejection. Definitely have a fear of being rejected or like just dismissed. Like if you say something and people just act like you aren't there, or being excluded. I've had a lot of people kind of do that thing where we're all talking, we're all having fun, and then I say something and then everything stops and it's kind of like a side eye, and I don't understand what that is. I feel like I'm not saying anything out of the ordinary, so I have a lot of like social problems that I'm trying to work on, but I also just kind of think I'm a weird person, kind of like a bit of an outcast. It doesn't really help me believe that people are good or that they want to interact with me. And so now I'm kind of in this place of like where you just like hate everybody. And I don't want to live like that, but that's where I'm at right now. That kind of leads me into splitting, which is the black and white thinking, just saying like, what a terrible person, why would they do that to me? Or like, I can't believe that nobody cares about me. There's not really any getting through to me. I just have to get those emotions out and express how I'm feeling. Usually in those moments, in those episodes, I am speaking in extremes that this person is terrible. I cannot see a gray area. I cannot see, okay, they're a good person, but they made a mistake. There is none of that. It is, you are all good or you're all bad. I will perceive people as bad or malicious when I'm in that headspace. I'll say anything. I've said really terrible things about my parents, my sister, acquaintances, and it is kind of like nasty behavior. It is really difficult. It makes me feel like a terrible person, and I'm working to get help, but this is definitely, it affects me a lot. Yeah. The third thing that really affects relationships is the emotional intensity. Usually it's focused on these pockets of just like anger or sadness or betrayal, like feeling terrible for a very specific amount of time. So like my mood can go to hell for 10 minutes, and then I can come out of that and then just kind of go about my day. Like, I'm not going to be depressed or angry the entire day. I can think rationally after these episodes, but they're really intense and they seem really terrifying, and it can be really confusing for people, usually for like your partner. If you're having a hysterical crash out and then you just change back to normal is weird, and not everybody is like that. It's not like a common way to deal with your emotions, and they can be caused by anything. Small conflict, small disagreement, you can turn in the middle of a conversation and just like sometimes I'll be talking and something will strike me as just like, oh, why would you say that to me? Like, it's already in my head now, and I can't really like let it go. Feeling emotions that big all the time is like exhausting, and I don't like it. I don't think a lot of people enjoy it. If you wanted to seek help, definitely with therapy, you can do DBT, which is dialectical behavioral therapy, dialectical behavior therapy. And that's what I'm trying to do right now with my therapist. It's a very strict guide, like an agenda, and going through distress tolerance and mindfulness and just like learning how to manage your extreme emotions. So that is an option. The other option is definitely having like open, non-judgmental communication with the people around you. I think that's the best option for me, is just like if your partner or your friends are able to learn a little bit about what you have and what you go through, and that if you snap or if something affects you deeply, for them to maybe try not to take it personally and just understand that you go through these storms. Just letting them know you have to get your emotions out, you have to let these things out, and then you can talk rationally when you're calm. So meeting borderline episodes as almost like a panic attack is what I think is the best. Just trying to keep the person calm, be reassuring, hugs, water, drink, food, stuffed animal, something to distract them from how terrible they're feeling. And then once they're out of that like panic mode, then they're able to talk openly and be a little bit more rational or clear even with what they're needing. Also maybe brainstorming like a flow chart of basically like if you're feeling this way, what things help, write it on a piece of paper. Hey, if I'm having a borderline episode, these things will help me to be calm, and then that way it will help these storms kind of clear. Also just taking a minute to go through maybe why you're feeling rejected, where is your fear of abandonment coming from, what were your relationships like as a child through adolescence, like, and as an adult, are they the same? Are you putting labels on people as a whole? And what are you expecting from people? I think can be a little bit helpful just to walk through like the past traumas and how it could be affecting your relationships. You have an option if you don't want to go to therapy, and you have an option if you do go to therapy. I don't like being forced to do anything, so I did a lot of this work on my own for a while. Attempting to keep relationships healthy and strong can be a lot of work for people with borderline, and so I understand if you're struggling. I'm working on it too. I think a lot of people are, and I think that's worth it. And if you want to kind of just take time and you don't want to fix it, you don't have to either. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. But just know that there is a community of people going through the same things. I think you can still have good relationships. I like responding to people, so if you have any questions, I can go through it. I think borderline is definitely super misunderstood and stigmatized, and a lot of people don't even know what it is. So I think it's important to share information, spread awareness, have some compassion for yourself, and thank you for watching.